We are officially hooking up the IVIG.
Well, things didn't go quite as planned. I ended up in the hospital. On our adventure.
Oh, you got freezing cold here.
Good Saturday morning, everyone. Today is the day. My first, okay, a little out of breath, my asthma this morning. I just took my breathing treatment, so, well, not just took it, but took it, so I'm doing okay. But anyway, first official IVIG infusion. So the nurse should be here in about 30 minutes. I'm up, I'm ready, Harlow's ready, Judd is getting ready, and I've got the layout of all the supplies they sent me for the IVIG. That is a Harlow. This is an anaphylaxis kit in case I go into anaphylaxis, because apparently that is a potential reaction. Oh. These are 500 milliliters of saline for before and after the IVIG. Pump tubing. This is the pump they sent me, and here's the one I usually use for my POTS infusions. They are so similar, but I guess this is the one I need specifically for IVIG. Some random stuff that I don't know what it is. This is more tubing. This looks like gravity drip tubing, and they sent an IV pole. Hopefully I don't have to be stuck to the pole the whole time, because I usually do my infusions on the go, but we shall see. Batteries for the pump, a purple thingy, alcohol swabs, saline flushes, heparin flushes, even though I have a ton of these at home already, my own hand sanitizer in a sharps container, and my pre-meds. So my pre-meds from left to right are IV Solu-Cortef, which is an IV steroid, IV Benadryl, which is an antihistamine, and then IV Phenergan, which is an anti-nausea medication. And the pills are literally just Tylenol. Yes, they sent me Tylenol because it was on the script. Could have done that myself, but you know, I could have done the IV Benadryl and IV Phenergan myself too, because I have that at home for home use against my chronic illnesses. And doesn't the IV steroid look really neat? I think it does. And then here's the actual IVIG itself, but it needs to be stored in the fridge. So back in the fridge it goes until the nurse gets here. If you're new and wondering what IVIG is or why I'm getting it, how it's gonna help me, what are the potential side effects, you can watch yesterday's vlog because I answer all the questions and give a lot of info regarding my IVIG, and there's a link to that vlog in the description. So how am I feeling right now? Honestly, really exhausted and kind of nauseous, so that pre-med of Phenergan is gonna be great. I ended up, last night, I suddenly became super nauseous and had to sit in front of the toilet because I was literally about to puke. So I asked Judd to grab me some IV Phenergan to administer last night. It was really late, it was like 10. And then he said, this seems like you might be starting an attack, because sometimes when I have angioedema attacks, I get really nauseous. And so he brought my emergency kit for that and then administered the IV Phenergan, and then sure enough, shortly after, and the Phenergan didn't trigger the angioedema attack. I've had Phenergan before and I was fine. Also, the attack was already happening because nausea is a sign that I'm getting an attack. So smart Judd to get the emergency kit ready. I started getting the rashes, the coughing, my throat began swelling, and if we don't abort it with IV Benadryl, which is my rescue med through my port here, this is how I get IV meds. This is like continuous IV access here. Anyway, then the attack, the angioedema attack will progress and progress until my throat completely swells shut and I need an EpiPen, hospital thing, it's a mess. So anyway, we were able to abort that angioedema attack last night, which is good, but I just didn't sleep well. I was restless and like, now I'm pretty tired from that, but hopefully this IVIG treatment won't trigger another angioedema attack. We just don't know how my body's gonna respond to the treatment. I'm praying for as little reactions as possible, but I'm not totally nervous, maybe a little nervous for potential bad reactions, but mostly, like I said yesterday, really excited to start this new chapter on my journey to better health.
It's Saturday morning, I want to sleep in, but
No sleeping in on IVIG day.
yeah, just got IVIG and I'm feeling optimistic about it, feeling pretty good. She's excited for it, I'm excited for it. I know we won't see the benefits right away, but
we might see side effects right away.
yeah, I'm hoping the side effects are minimal. Staying out of the hospital. Well, I got some big bags under my eyes.
Yeah, I'm just so happy you're gonna be here to do it with me.
Today's definitely gonna be a long nap later in the afternoon.
Yeah. So my home health nurse should be here any moment, and remember that my home healthcare company has patient privacy policies, so I may not be able to film while the nurse is here. We'll find out when he gets here, but hopefully I can, fingers crossed. And I am ready to do this treatment. I'm excited, but also exhausted. So let's do this. Good news, y'all. I can film while the nurse is here, and I am hooked up to my first bag of saline. Awesome. This is Warren. He is my nurse.
Hello.
He's pretty chill, and he is so happy right now. We are still running the first saline bag. It runs at 250 milliliters an hour, so it's going to take about 2 hours, and then 30 minutes prior to me finishing this, we're going to administer my pre-meds, so I can get them 30 minutes prior to me starting my IVIG, and they can really get into my system to hopefully offset any bad effects from the IVIG. I'm about to get the pre-meds for the IVIG because I'm just about done with this first bag of saline. Here we go.
So that's the Benadryl.
Benadryl is done. I'm gonna do an up-close shot, so skip this part if you don't like needles.
This is your Finnegan.
And we're drawing the steroid now, but we're not going to give it to me until I'm done with the saline bag. IV Benadryl is done, IV Phenergan is done, steroid after the saline bag is complete. And IV Phenergan and Benadryl both make me very sleepy. I'm already feeling really sleepy, so probably going to take a nap. Yeah, that's a good idea. I almost forgot to take the Tylenol, so let's do that. This is the infusion bag my home health company sent me because it's on most of the floor. I don't ever use this infusion bag. I always use my cuter and happier infusion bags. But for this particular situation, we're going to use the one my home health company sent me. That's very loud. And this is how the IVIG hangs on the pole.
And so I can see the settings.
That's full.
Here.
And then the bag hangs as well.
I can see the settings.
Ta-da! Time for the IV steroid. We are officially hooking up the IVIG.
All clamps are open.
Ta-da! Now we just have to start the pump.
And you're running. Feeling different yet?
We're running!
Well, things didn't go quite as planned. I ended up in the hospital. I just got some medicine and I'm already feeling a little bit better, thankfully. So what happened is I only got a few minutes into the IVIG and like 2 minutes, and I couldn't swallow well. It was really difficult to swallow. That was accompanied by flushing. I got that impending sense of doom that happens with anaphylaxis, and my throat started to swell. So I was like, I don't feel well. And the nurse was like, why not? I said, stop it. So he stopped it and the symptoms dissipated. We took a break. Then we started it again. And the same thing, the exact same thing happened. And so we stopped it. And I thought that that was it. Okay, we stopped the IVIG, where it won't happen again. It happened again. And it's not an angioedema attack. This was anaphylaxis-like symptoms. I can tell the difference because I know how my body feels. And I wasn't hooked up to the IVIG and I had another attack. So he gave me another 50 milligrams, another dose of IV Benadryl. And it still didn't stop it. So he called his nursing company, who told him to call my doctor on call, and my doctor on call said to come to the ER. We didn't have to use epi because what's happening is like a spasm in my throat with those symptoms of flushing and impending sense of doom, which is something that happens with anaphylaxis because your airway is closing. It's a natural instinct to get freaked out about that. And then it dissipates, it goes away. So we haven't had to use epi, but it's really scary. I was close to using it at one point. Came to the ER, they gave me some meds, and now I'm doing better. We also don't know what caused this. We don't necessarily think it was the IVIG because we were infusing super slow, 25 milliliters an hour, ridiculously slow. And then I only received a total of 2 milliliters of the IVIG. That's like this much. I'm shaking, I don't know. That's like nothing. So we're like, it can't really be the IVIG. Well, it might be, we can't tell. But one of the pre-meds I got, the steroid, I have never had that particular steroid before, so we're thinking it must be the steroid that caused the allergic reaction and anaphylaxis symptoms, but I have gotten other steroids that are very similar to that and had no issues, so it's really hard to tell what it was that caused that. The nurse also said that it could have been that we gave my body too many IV medications at once. I know doing IV Phenergan and Benadryl together is fine because we've done that for my chronic illnesses in the past, but then maybe doing the IV steroid and then the IVIG too, maybe that was just too much for my body to handle, so who knows with my crazy sick body, who knows what it was. I'm just glad that
You're alive.
I'm alive, yeah, because it was really scary. I am not giving up on IVIG. There are way too many potential awesome benefits to improve my quality of life. So what we're gonna do is try and reschedule, hopefully for next week, and I can get the same nurse because he was really cool. And we're gonna tweak my pre-meds, maybe just do IV Benadryl, no IV steroid, and only use IV Phenergan if I need it. And I'm hoping maybe we can mix the IVIG with a liter, sorry, hospital noises, with a liter of saline, so it's diluted. I don't know if you can do that though. I'm gonna talk to my doctor and home health company on Monday. Plus I have my Thursday appointment with my geneticist who's prescribing the IVIG. So we can try and brainstorm some solutions because I'm not giving up. This has to work. So we're gonna do our best to make the IVIG work for me. Awesome news, they fixed me up and we're going home. What?
Don't choke up in the next 15 minutes.
Gosh, I'm gonna be good. I don't look like that.
You're right, you start turning blue and you look much worse.
We're on the way home. Fantastic. I am feeling better, thankfully. Just pretty exhausted and worn out from today. So thankful Judd was here to do that with me. Thank you, babe.
Try.
It's awesome that he was here and we did this on a Saturday so he could be with me through everything. And I want to thank y'all for all of the continuous support and love and encouragement. It has been humbling and wonderful. I really appreciate it. Got my handy dandy walker. We didn't even clean anything up. We were in a rush. And hi, Harlow. Did you miss us? We chose not to bring Harlow to the emergency room just because, one, she's still in training and we couldn't focus on her even though she's almost done with her training. And she has been to the ER before. She behaves really well in the ER. But when you bring a dog to the ER, you get asked a lot of questions like, oh, what type of dog is she? Has she been trained by you or somebody else? And when we go for the ER, it's an emergency situation. I don't have the energy to answer those questions. Judd doesn't want to answer those questions because he wants to focus on me. And plus I have all the medical care I could possibly need in the ER, so I don't need my service dog there. So we just choose to leave her. It's a personal choice. Some people take their service dogs to the ER, some don't. If I get admitted, Harlow comes to see me in the hospital all the time. So that's just why we choose to not take her. Freedom! No more hospital band.
For now.
Shush, I'm glad to not be admitted. And yeah, so I know we said that we don't think the IVIG caused the allergy reaction, anaphylaxis-like symptoms, because what was happening, I'd get difficulty swallowing, I'd feel my throat swelling shut, I'd get that impending sense of doom, which is a terrible feeling, and then I'd get flushing, and then it would dissipate and come back in a violent burst. Dissipate, come back in a violent burst. And it continued. That's why we had to go to the ER. And even though it occurred just a few minutes after starting my IVIG, it also occurred just a few minutes after starting the IV steroid. Because remember, we did the IV steroid right before starting the IVIG. So that's why we're thinking it's one or the other, but there's no way to know for sure. And although this was a terrifying and really discouraging experience that I did not expect my IVIG to go this way, I'm not giving up. Like I said, there's too many potentially really good benefits for improving my life with this. So we're gonna tweak the pre-meds. We're gonna do everything we can to make this work for me. I'm not ready to give up just yet. So that is that. Har's happy we're home. She was perfectly fine relaxing here while we're in the ER. And again, that's just our personal choice. Teams do things differently and that's perfectly fine. So anyways, thank you for joining us in our adventure. It's never a dull moment around here. And I'm really tired, Judd's tired, so we're gonna end the vlog now. Thank you for joining us.